Wow, welcome everybody. I got a bit of a dilemma. I don't know if this has happened to anybody, but I forgot to get my tamper for my smoke. So I got to improvise with my knife here, which I just got, and I feel bad that I'm going to have to use it for that. But desperate times, I don't know if this is going to work. This will be amusing, so to say the least. And I got tobacco in my mouth. That's lovely. But a little cob here. It's a little windy anyway, but we'll see how that goes with my tamping. It's only a 15-minute smoke, so it's not that bad. But this video is about Stoicism and my Stoic side, and how it came about. Now, I've been known about Stoicism a while back when I was late teens, early 20s, and I knew about it, Marcus Aurelius. I didn't know much about Seneca or any others, but I know the quotes and stuff and whatnot. As you can see, I got the regular camera lens on, so it's cropped me quite a bit. And I forgot to switch from active to this, but forgive me. I'm learning things as I go along here. But so it wasn't until recently, this past summer in 2020, that I really got into it and focused on it. And it's helped quite a bit. Mostly because the world in the last year has been in chaos. As a matter of fact, next Thursday it'll be a week when they sent us home from work. And it's been a year of craziness with the election, riots, people bickering and fighting amongst each other, and all that stuff happened. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, how can I be a better person? How can I improve things by, I don't know. I didn't know where to go. When things like that happen, like tragedies and stuff, like where society's kind of ripping itself apart, I've always internalized and kind of, I guess, just kind of internally think about things and try to process it all. And it's always hard. It's never easy. So, as you guys know, I've been into philosophy since last summer, really back into it. When I was a teenager and when I was in my early 20s, I got into it quite a bit. But mostly Zen, Buddhism, the Taoism, and all that stuff, like Eastern philosophy, which I love, Eastern philosophy. And a lot of that started with Star Wars when I watched it and stuff, and then I branched out, and then things happened, and I got away from that for a while. I mean, I got a giant ambergram tattoo that says philosophy, and then I read it upside down, it says art and science. So those are kind of my three loves in life. So I got away from it, but 2020 was a special year, and so I started this channel and kind of just trying to figure things out, and then eventually it led to me getting back into Stoicism and reading things and contemplating things. And of course, as you guys know, I've read Eric Hoffer, The True Believer, which helped a lot. And then there was some classical philosophy and political stuff that I read. And kind of it was able for me to take a step back. But I'm going to get into Stoicism here because, I think it's Marcus Aurelius who said, if you want to be a good man, stop talking about being a good man, but be a good man, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm not Ryan Holiday, where I can quote Marcus Aurelius right off my head. But in any case, I've read Meditations, which I really enjoyed. And of course, every night I read Seneca, Letters from a Stoic, before I go to bed. I read one letter a night. And he's my favorite. I absolutely love him. I know he's flawed, but I'm flawed too. As we all are. But in any case, with society ripping itself apart, I just kind of didn't know where to go or how to figure things out. So I got into Stoicism because it's practical. It's useful in everyday life. And it's helped tremendously, especially at work, with dealing with people at work, getting on my case over mistakes that happen that are really not the end of the world. And the problem is their reaction to things, and there's an old saying I used to say, it's better to bite your tongue than someone else's tongue. And that's kind of sums up Stoicism in a way, from my perspective at the moment when I use it at work, is, there's a few quotes where, Marcus is talking about the people he's going to meet. They're ungrateful, they're using you, they're this, that, and the other, all those things. They're bad people, but there's also good people and such, and you got to find a way to deal with them. There's also a few other quotes where, and I wish I had them off the top of my head, but I'm not that good, where he's talking about, you have to see why they're doing what they're doing and kind of look past that and kind of find your center. Because they don't mean any harm. They just got a lot of anxiety and they don't know how to handle it. And as they say, the sum of it all is you've got to control how you react to things, not, that's the only thing you can do. You can't control how people react to something. And that's the beauty of Stoicism. And that's how I apply it, is I can only control so much. I can only control my reaction. And a lot of that has to do with my former co-host. This is kind of where it started, where I used the gray rock method quite a bit, where he would lash out and do things and cause chaos, and he wanted a reaction, but I wouldn't feed the troll, so to speak. And that tends to annoy them, and they get bored and they move on. Kind of the same thing. I think it led me into Stoicism, but I'm not trying to preach or say it's, got all the answers. It doesn't. It answers a good amount of practical, everyday situations and how to deal with them, how to treat people, justice, courage, temperance, and wisdom. Things that I strive for. I think we all do. And it's funny because Stoicism has a lot connected to Eastern philosophy. There's a lot of connections there. And then you see the Western religions and stuff and all these different connections and stuff. So it's very practical use of stuff, and I'm grateful for it. So, but like I said, I have a Stoic side. I wouldn't call myself a Stoic, although I lean that way. It's like politically I'm a libertarian, but I don't really, that's just for a label. It's not so much where my political ideals really are, because I'm kind of very much in the middle, so to speak. I'm very much for the Constitution for everybody. The birds, sorry, I get distracted. But yeah, now the problem with Stoicism is that, and they've touched on the bigger picture thing with the, being in accordance with nature and the logos and all that stuff, but I think it falls short right there. It doesn't answer the big questions that I've always asked, which is where my nihilistic, existential absurdism, whatever you want to call ism, comes into play. The whole, what's the meaning, what's the point kind of thing. And I don't think Stoicism really cares about that, because and this is where it's really useful, is because Stoicism is concerned with the everyday life, your actions, your reactions, how you go about yourself, treating others with respect and all that stuff. It's very practical. Religion are as well and whatnot, but they try to answer the bigger questions that no one really knows. But with my nihilistic side and all that, it's like I know the science and everything, and you kind of see how things line up, and you say to yourself, well, there is no this, there's no that, there's no point to that. And I don't like my nihilistic side. It's very hopeless in a way, but then again, absurdism is kind of, with Camus, he was very optimistic. Maybe there's no point, but, you're here anyway, so you might as well enjoy it and make a point for it, make a reason for yourself. But anyway, there's really no point in this video other than to say that Stoicism is a very useful tool to have in the tool belt when the world is going to shit, basically. And it's stuff I recommend you guys read. Meditations, Letters from a Stoic, and there's various other ones I haven't got to yet. But it's pretty good stuff. I'm glad I've taken it a little more serious and decided to improve myself. So anyway, that's going to do it. I'm going to finish my pipe here, even though I can't really tamp. Although that seemed to work. course, I picked the windiest spot in all the park. But what about you guys? I'll end this right here. What do you guys use to get through the chaos we've had the last year? Are you into philosophy, religion? I don't know. What do you use to cope with all the chaos? What do you use, actually, I should say this. What do you use to better yourself? I should say that. I like to combine a lot of different things. And Robert Pantano, who does the Pursuit of Wonder channel, which I love, and the book Notes from the on the End of Everything. I don't know if he quoted it in that book. I don't believe he did, but in one of his videos, I'm sorry if it's windy. I'll try to block. I don't even know if you can hear me because I didn't realize my lapel was over there. So this video might be complete crap, but I'm trying to block the wind for you. He'd mentioned it's time for a new philosophy, and I agree with that. It's just how do you mix all of the good stuff from each philosophy, religion, and science into one cohesive thing that works for the new century, so to speak. It's very hard to do, I think. But anyway, I'm going to finish my pipe, enjoy the view, and I'll see you guys later.